Hey guys, this is my first place Electrodeity list from Greece with my buddy Electrodeity of Light Amaterasu, which I play 4 copies of. 028 Counteract either gives me double attack and 8k power or 2 life and draws a card, so either way, good defensively and offensively. Best card in the deck, in my opinion, or one of the best cards, and is searchable with Miracle Fires, which is why I buddy it, over the size 0, which some people choose to play. Another Electrodeity is Electrodeity of Water Mizuno Home. I play 4 copies. Doesn't have double attack, but has 628 stats, which is pretty good in my opinion. AK base helps a lot, and counter ability, either rests a monster on their field and gives 2 life, or bounces a monster and burns for 1. The burn for 1 is quite helpful in some matchups, especially the mirror match where you can bounce their size freeze and they won't be able to use it on your turn. So you get like more plussing than they do, so you win. And the rest is really helpful as well against Susanoo and other matchups, you know, like Matt, which can have monsters that beat over your 12k defense or 8k defense. Yes, yeah, pretty much I played that. And then 3 Unruly Electrodeity Susanoo. Played this mainly because it's a finisher. Also quite good in the battle building matchup, which I was quite scared of. Pay 1 life, pop all set spells and items, and also gets triple attack and penetrate with a 10-3 body that's pretty scary. Finishes a lot of games. Played 2 Shooten Demonic Deity Kid Ibuki. For 2 gauge you get 10-3, 5 stats, and overkill. Pay 1 gauge, can't be destroyed for that turn pretty much. Has ambush, which doesn't matter, and move. Also, secondary ability allows me to destroy all of my opponent's monsters at the beginning of my turn and deal damage for each one, which helped in some games, but you mainly play it because it gives you a free turn where they can't get over this. And penetrate doesn't work either, so can't really do anything against that. Next, I play 3 Guardian Electro Beast Goryu. Let you check top 3 for 1 card and discard the rest. You can only call it once per turn. That's the top effect or restriction. That's why I only play 3 as opposed to 4. But it's a very good card. I feel like you see it enough with the draw power. And 524 is decent enough stat line as well if you want to keep it on the side. Next, I play 4 of the size 0 Electro Beast Emissary Otoro. 2/1/1 stats and gives you a gauge in a draw when it enters the field and you have another Electrodeity, just plussing. The gauge helps a lot, especially if you don't see Kagura. And yeah, just gives you even more plussing and filtering. Next, the item Kagura Bell of Worship. I play 4 copies of that. This deck I don't play the set spell, which is why I play 4 copies. In the mirror match, if they Minawaga Kushi you lose your item pretty much, so I feel like you need extra copies. Also, extra copies didn't end up being too bad. There were a couple of games where I saw 2 or 3, which was a bit annoying, but I felt like it was worth it to, you know, win the mirror match, which was, in my opinion, the hardest matchup that day. It's like a 3-1 and does all your ED shit, you know, possession and all that stuff. Next, I play, in my opinion, probably the best card, over Amaterasu even. What the fuck is it called? Kagura Electrodeity Welcome. So you pay 1 life. If you have an Electrodeity on your field, you gauge 3, and then you look through all of your gauge, add 1 to hand. Just pretty insane. The gauge is very helpful because you like to call a secondary size 3 to the side in order to plus even more, and you know, just looking through your gauge, pretty much like 7, 8 cards maybe to add anything is pretty OP in my opinion. Next, we play 4 Miracle Fighters. Just 1 gauge, choose an attribute, add either a size 3 or an item, so it searches for any of your size 3 Electrodeities, which are your possessions, or your item, which is pretty helpful. And then I play 4 Electrodeity Festival. Searches for an item, and then a counter speed stands an Electrodeity. Really helpful to push for game. Searching for an item as well. Essentially playing 12 items now in a 59 card deck, so you're getting them pretty much every game. I didn't miss this a single time. And standing the Electrodeity is really powerful, especially with Susanoo and Uzu Ikazuchi, which gives you extra attacks to push for game. And it won me games. Next I play 4 Ceremonial Water Mirror. Just if you have an Electrodeity on your field, nullify the attack, gain 2 life. Just a null, you gain 2 life, pretty good. It gives you good life gain. You usually end up on 20 plus life as well, so yeah, there's that. Next I play 4 Ceremonial Execution of Divine Punishment. Another very annoying card. When you have that 12k Susanoo base and you minus 3k power, 3k defense and 1 crit from your opponent's board, can't really hit it, and it also can destroy a spell or item at counter speed, you know, destroying mat, you know, and battle buildings. You can hit a lot of stuff. That's why I play that. 4 copies. Next, 4 Demon Way Sakura Fubuki. Pay 2 life and nullify a spell. Really powerful in this deck, especially now that spells are getting incredibly strong, you know. You can shut down opponents' turns with this. Playing against map players, you pay 2 life and nullify their search, and they really can't do anything else, and you can go on to win from there. Also, you can nullify spells that like nullifies, so you get good attacks in with that. And then I play Ritual Harvest Prayer at 3 copies. I feel like 3 copies is good. So you pay 1 gauge, you draw 2 cards if you have an Electrodeity on your field. Then if it's possessed, you can draw an extra card. So draw 3 is really insane, plussing off 1 card. 2 Electrodeity Return. Adds back Electrodeity items or any monsters. Really powerful when you add back the size 0 and the size 2. So Goryo and Otaro. You get so much plussing just off this 1 card, and there's so much other situations that you can like add Susanoo to push for game or add Amaterasu to possess into it. It's a really good card. Play at 2 because you don't want it to clog. It's more of a late game card in my opinion. Then you play Wind Arc Deity Uzu Ikazuchi, 2 copies. Again, you don't want it to clog really. Some matchups it doesn't help. Basically says if you have an item with soul in it, it gives your item the ability to not have its critical reduced, and when it attacks you burn them for 1 damage and destroy a card on their field. Really powerful against some decks. You'd side it out against God Punks, but I really liked it at 2 copies. Won me a lot of games as well, especially when you activate it on Susanoo, and you can restand many times with the festival cards, so you can get off like popping 3 cards and dealing 3 damage and doing so many attacks. So wins you games there. Finally, I play 2 Futon Tengu Draft. Played it mainly to bounce Otaro back to hand, get that extra gauge and draw next turn. But there's other plays you can do, like bouncing your God Punk, Goth Girl, and just nullifying an attack without needing a Electrodeity on the field is quite good. Also, the foiling is quite nice. I like the artwork. Next, my side deck, I played 4 Loyalty, mainly for Folktale and Link Dragon Order, especially punks as well, that they can loop you with Zeus and Daipan and the Salvager, so stops all of that stuff from happening. Didn't side it in at the event because I didn't play God Punks or Folktale, but it was still very handy to have around just in case played against those matchups. Then I played 3 Obstruct, MVP in my opinion. Sided it in the mirror, which I played a lot. Played the mirror 4 times, I think. Yeah, played it 4 times, you know, stops them from drawing. Stops you from drawing as well. But if you play it when going first, so if you're going first and you use it on their turn, you've already done all your drawing. You shut them down a lot. Very good against the mirror match, Thunder Empire Fangs, and Mobile Aerial Team. Just stop them from drawing. Finally, I played 3 Dark Skill Eerie Wailing. It's mainly for Mobile Aerial Team. There's not much else you would side it in against in my opinion, because Mobile Aerial Team is the 2nd best deck, and without this you lose to Mobile Aerial Team. They're Asanagis minus your crit, and there's not much you can really do against that. But with this you can pretty much body them, honestly, just removing all the soul. Also has another effect which doesn't really matter. because you choose an Oni assassin on your field. I do not play any Oni assassins, but yeah, that's pretty much it for my deck list. And I guess I'll go through a tournament report for Greece. Round 1 played against second place Panos. He's playing EDs. Game 1 went very long. Game 2 went into time, and I got the win, 2-0. Round 2, I played against Astro Dragons. In my opinion, it was a slightly easy matchup for me because I had Spell Nulls and the 12k defense, and because of Mizu Homine, I could rest his Astrologia or whatever card was hitting over my 12k defense. So I won that 2-0. Round 3, another ED matchup, this time against Krishiv. Game 1, I used Minawagakushi. Yeah, I used Minawagakushi and bounced his item pretty much. He couldn't really do anything, so I got off more possessions than him, gained more life, got more advantage and won that way. Then game 2 happened 2 minutes before time, so we didn't really have much time to do it, but I won 2-0 with that game as well. Round 4 played against another Panos. He was playing Electrodeity.